Hello, folks. This is Joe from MIGeekScene. I'm at Fantasticon, standing next to Travis McIntire of SourcePoint Press.
Hello.
Travis, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's getting near the end of the day on Sunday, so, I'm a little worn out, a little tired.
Generic question time. How has the con been treating you, sir?
I think for first-year con at a city that doesn't have a ton of cons, I think it's been really good.
I agree. I mean, there's another big con, but
There is?
Yeah, ShudoCon.
In Lansing?
Yeah, it's a very big anime convention.
Oh,
So,
right.
wow, that took a turn for awkward. All right.
No, how would I know about that? We don't publish anime.
All right, fair enough.
How would I be aware of that?
I don't know what you're into, sir. I didn't. I just did research, barely any,
Wow,
on
you
SourcePoint
are,
Press, not even on you individually. When I get to doing research on you, I will find out, like, we're not going to talk about anime-related goods or manga, or some people like to say manga, but...
Well, we could, but, I didn't know that there was an anime con here. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't run an incredibly successful geek news website that enables me to buy the best in modern camera technology and fly here back and forth in helicopters and other.
Oh, whatever, Mr. Big Time Money Hustler, with your all the money he's raking in with the books that he's putting out.
Nouvelle riche.
Upper crust. We're looking down upon you so you can see our nose hairs. Yes. But nonetheless,
We've been hanging out too much this week.
This is probably the funnest interview I've had already.
Been hanging out too much this week.
He's gonna be
with
so
Joe.
annoyed. He's like, I hate him. But nonetheless, what is SourcePoint Press all about?
We're a comic publisher, chiefly, though this year we're kind of trying to break into a prose market. We publish horror, pulp, noir, mystery, thriller, branching into sci-fi, all that kind of stuff, anything that's a little dark or a little darkly humorous in the world of comics and art books. And like I said, this year for the first time, novels.
Do you have a particular genre that you have an affinity to?
Me in particular?
Yes, you.
Oh, man. It kind of changes with the time, and it changes with whatever I'm into. Lately, I've been really, really into like the haunted house genre. If you'll give me that there is such a thing as a haunted house genre. So, though you could maybe say that there's more of a literary trope of the haunted house. Like, for instance, the movie Alien, right, with Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
That's a haunted house movie, right? They're in a constrained space. Where they can't get out. That has a bunch of like weird passages and secret ways to get through things with a monster that appears out of anywhere and nowhere, and they never know where it is. Like, it's a haunted house movie, but moved into space and turned into a sci-fi alien thriller.
That sounds like the IRS tax department, actually.
Which also is a haunted house.
It is a haunted house. I mean, you're trying to get away from the monster.
Yeah,
of
so
auditing.
probably my personal favorite type of trope or genre fiction is the haunted house movie. Like, I love The Shining. Beetlejuice is a good one. The old horror movies House, if you recall that. I'm very excited for Devil in the White City, which is a Scorsese movie that's he's working on.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Based on the serial killer during the Chicago World's Fair.
Okay.
And he had built an entire murder house.
Oh, I am familiar with that guy.
Where it had traps and rooms that would just filled with gas and there was no doors. And,
oh yes, actually it was a comic book.
Giant furnace down there.
About that, actually. Gary something. I'm sorry.
Gary
folks.
Reed.
Yes, I've read that. I mean, he actually does a lot of comic books on infamous people.
He does. He is a Penguin author. He's written Sherlock Holmes, Dracula adaptations. He's the owner and publisher and editor-in-chief of Caliber Comics.
Okay.
And most importantly, he is the writer of a title that releases later this month from SourcePoint Press called Savants, with genius artist Seth DeMoose from Dirk Manning's Tales of Mystery Volume 2, and also Image's Xenoholics, and colored by Sarah Souls, who you know from Killustration Studios.
Okay, yes, I do.
Who did Hank Steiner for us.
Hank Steiner. I just want them to keep saying Steiner that way, but they don't. It's just Steiner.
Yep.
Well, all right, since you already segued into artists, so who are some of the artists that are under the SourcePoint Press umbrella?
Let's see. Right now, probably our top-selling book is called Monstrous. It's a 4-issue series. All 4 issues are out and available directly from us at conventions. In stores, let's see. Number 2 comes out a little later this month, and then 3 next month, and 4 the month after.
Are they
those
they're
are
not collected in one trade?
They will be later in the summer.
Okay.
But as of now, no, they're just single issues. That's Ken Lamug, who's an award-winning children's book author and artist from Las Vegas. Seth DeMuth, who I mentioned, is doing Savants. Sean Seal has got 2 books with us. I don't know if you've seen much of Sean's work. He's a painter from Bay City.
Was it the big was he in the big compilation?
He was.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I could say yes, but it's not standing out to me right now.
Wow.
Sorry,
Wow.
bud.
Wow.
Maybe you should be more memorable, and I'll remember you.
Well, he's also a dangerous serial killer, so you're in for it now.
Ooh, yes, finally, that sweet release
But he's
I've been waiting for.
he's doing 2 books. He's doing Nora, which is a sci-fi thriller by Casey Pierce.
Yes, I do know her.
And he's doing a 3-issue kind of short arc called The Rot with noted horror filmmaker David C. Hayes.
Okay, I thought you were going to say The Rock.
No.
Another person I noticed that's part of your crew, Josh Werner.
Oh yeah, Josh Werner. Well, he's not even he's much more than part of the crew. He's the art director of the entire company, and also he's one of the 2 founders of Source Point Press.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh is basically the engine that makes the publisher work.
All right. Well, you mentioned.
I'm the guy who turns the steering wheel. Trico's the guy who sits in the back seat and yells about, wonders where we're going and when we're gonna get there.
And what is
cut that out if Trico ever watches.
No, that's to be left in. So what is Trico's last name by chance?
Trico Lutkins. He's a managing editor for SourcePoint. He's a fun guy. He's got a master's degree in history. He's got a master's degree in poetry. So all that means is that he is very likely to approve projects that I then have to cancel. That's what that means.
All right, and
No, that's not true.
As we're wrapping this up, as we're going to the home run phase of this interview,
I've been hitting home runs this whole time.
That's very true, folks. You know, minus the steroids, Barry Bonds. Nonetheless, and that's one of my catchphrases. I got to really stop saying that. What are some of the titles that you have out right now?
What's one of your catchphrases?
Catchphrases, like I've noticed this, and I poked fun at myself in another interview. Things that I guess tells or things I like to say. Nonetheless, no problem. Truth be told.
Ooh, I like truth be told.
Yes, I've said that numerous times, and while watching my interviews, I'm like, oh my God, please stop doing that.
So something I found that I say a lot that I had to train myself to stop saying was "at any rate."
Oh, I haven't even dropped that one yet.
Yeah, you can have that one. I'm done with it. But I used to say that all the time, and I found that every time I listen to myself on a podcast interview, I'd be constantly I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'd get to the end of it, and I'd be like, I lost track of what I was supposed to be saying. And then I would say, at any rate, and continue on. So I had to try to eliminate it.
Well, at any rate, what are some more upcoming titles from Source Point Press?
That was beautiful.
Nice segue.
It's I've been proud a few times in my life. When my kids first walked, the day of my wedding, but never have I been as proud as right now with Joe Hubbard. Joe Hubbard picking up a brand new catchphrase like a professional.
Because Joe Hubbard does whatever Joe Hubbard do.
Joe Hubbard does what he do. A title's available right now, Monstrous, like I mentioned. Another popular book that actually sold out today, so we'll have to do a second printing, is the Jack of Spades trade. We took the first 2 issues and then added a bunch of new content and a little short piece and put it on a really cool trade. That sold out today. So that doesn't do you much good. Carmen by Mike Speakman. The first 2 issues are out. 3, 4, and 5 are in production now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else is sitting out there right this second? Oh, Up the River, which is a book I wrote. Steve Shard did the art for it. Sean Seal did the colors. That's available. Hank Steiner. By the wonderful Tyler and Sarah Souls.
Illustration Studios.
Yep, which is about Frankenstein as a detective. So
we covered that in the interview that I did with them.
Oh.
No need to tread old ground, sir.
Well, I tell you what, maybe those 2 people who watched that video didn't catch it, so we'll repeat it here.
The 2 people of the 5 people that might check onto my YouTube channel, for crying out loud.
No, that's not true. This man is a big deal.
Big in weight. But no, that's not even a.
We both have that problem.
That's just a knock against myself. I have no problem with the way I look. It's all good.
What else? We've got a great book called Rotten Tail that's been optioned for film, so we've kind of like tossing that around. It's like the story of Spider-Man, basically, except that the kid gets bitten by a laboratory rabbit and then turns into a homicidal Easter bunny.
Well, that's actually not bad.
It's a splatter comedy, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say like an aardvark.
Also just recently sold out, so we have to do a second printing of that. Scorn, which is by the same author, David Hayes, also wrote Scorn, which is a much more serious Chicagoland gang murder graphic novel.
And as we're wrapping this up, sorry to cut you off.
No, please do.
Yes, 15 minutes later, and we're still releasing this one.
And then this thing comes
And this
out.
one, oh, let me tell you about this one. But if people are looking for you online and more about Source Point Press, where can they find you?
www.sourcepointpress.com is the easiest place. We've got a new website that's almost completely done that we're going to launch sometime in the next 2 months, I think, that's going to be really slick and cool. Until then, you just have to make do with the old one. Also, at Source PT Press on Twitter, at Source Point Press on Instagram. We're on Facebook, of course. And then you can find me personally at T McIntire1 on Twitter. And if you want to get in on Josh, our art director, you can find him at Joshua Frantic.
Wow, this man knows. You've done this before. You know how to plug stuff.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, see, I just said it. I used it. Yes, terrible of me. What would you like to say to the people that have enjoyed your books from your company?
I mean, the only thing you can say, thank you so much. The company has grown about 4x in the last 12 months, and that is 100% because people show up to conventions and they show up to their local stores and they ask for our stuff and they buy our stuff and they give our stuff a chance and they come back and get more. So thank you.
I seriously thought you were going to say, like, well, I appreciate you buying my stuff, but what have you done for me lately? Buy more.
Yeah, there's stuff you haven't bought.
But nonetheless, well, folks, this is Joe from MIGeekScene with Travis McIntire, Source Point Press. Take it easy.
Thank you.